everybody, Christine Bertram coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Happy new catalog launch day. It's today, May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I said that we were going to celebrate Cinco de Mayo together. Now that I remember that it's Cinco de Mayo, it actually dawned on me, I should connect with Tyler for dinner tonight to have some tacos. I think it would be good because it's officially Taco Tuesday for those who do Taco Tuesday. How awesome is it that Cinco de Mayo lands on today? All right, well, we have a Stamp-a-Stat card class that is hot and ready to happen. I had to postpone this class, you guys. I apologize. This class was on the docket for last Friday at 10 a.m. And I run a very tight ship around here, if you guys don't know that. Every minute of every hour of every day is occupied by something. And this is lately the story of my life is working on class registrations as I can fit them in between things. And so I stayed up till 6 this morning, and it was not a smart decision because it made me really tired all morning. But I got my second wind, and I got through probably 60 of them, which means I have about 40 left. Because as I do one, I get two, or as I do two, I get one. As I'm working on them, registrations are still continuing to come in. So between getting everything ordered that I needed to order for the Stampin' Fun in the Sun, in Color Clubs, Designer Series paper samplers, the product shares, the suite shares, all the products that I owed back to my team who lent me things that I can finally replace them, worked on getting those orders done. And then worked a little bit more on registrations. It was already 6:17 by the time the birds were starting to chirp, and the cats were looking at me like, Mom, it's time for breakfast. And normally I'm not the one that gives them breakfast. So I didn't get them done. It was an aggressive goal to say that I would get through all of the class registrations. I have always had wishful thinking, but it didn't quite happen. So I'm going to continue to work on them tonight and into tomorrow. And then all of a sudden I will be caught up on them, and life will be back to a somewhat normal kind of pace. But we're here because on Friday, going back to the running a tight ship with time, I had this class scheduled for 10, and the printer, this amazing printer, got delivered at 8:30 a.m. on Friday morning. And by 9 o'clock, it was all set up. All the cords were plugged in. The drivers were in the computer. And then it's like, okay, let's test the printing. All the things that I have, labels, this label, that label. There's about 5 different types of labels I print. And then the golden tickets and the DSP sampler. There was just enough things, and nothing was working. Every time we tried to print something, it was off kilter. It would start off good, and then it would be bad, and then sometimes it would be in the middle, and it would stretch. So needless to say, we spent until 11:20, and I know I had thought that by 10:30 we'd have it, so I had pushed it to 10:30, and then all of a sudden it was 11:15. I'm like, this isn't happening. So I had Karen Forward's class, or I should say I got to take Karen Forward's class. Oh, I should share it. There's a box sitting over there. If Gloria grabs it, there's that stationery box that is purplish right there. Yep, keep going, keep going. Nope, turn around. Turn around. Every now and then I get a little... Your right hand. Huh? To the right, to the right. A stationery box. It's like a handcrafted item. You're like, yup, you got it. It's kind of purple and green. Okay, so I attended... You guys, I hadn't attended a class. I actually sat in a seat and doing somebody else's class since Carissa's class last spring. So I got to make the beautiful box, and I'm very impressed and happy with how it turned out. Karen had everything ready to go. Everything was cut. Everything was prepped. All we had to do was stamp and assemble. And I didn't even have to do any die cutting. And then when I was all done, I thought, I'm going to give this to my mom for Mother's Day. So shh, don't tell anybody. This is what she's going to get this weekend. So handmade from the heart, and I'm giving it away. Usually we make things and we don't give them away. So I'm going to give mine to my mom. So it was great. So I knew that with the printer not being done, the guy didn't leave till 11:15. He was 45 minutes late for his appointment. He was supposed to have at 10:30. It set the entire day behind, and then I got to sit in class, and then from there, just the weekend was a lot of stuff for getting ready for the month of May for Stampin' Up. So my business. So I still have, I know people are going to ask, I still have my little pile right here of my past classes. They're still sitting there. They're waiting for me to carve out maybe 30 minutes to do them. And I might tackle that after this live is done. I'm not quite certain, but you guys, amazing. The little, down to one little chair. I'm so happy. Like, thank goodness I have the best, amazing customer, Shirley Natali. And she helped take a bunch of my past classes off my hands. She has a group that gets together, 6 of them, and she got multiples of classes and helped me clear up maybe 6 of them. That was amazing that they got taken off of my past classes. So I was waiting to go through her order before I did that, and that just happened. Her box mailed out yesterday. So I was able to pull everything. So now that I've got her classes all pulled out, I condensed down to one chair. Shirley is amazing. Thank you so much. She's amazing. And so I'm down to one chair and I can go through that, and now I won't overcommit. So that kind of timing worked out good. So if I can do it tonight yet, I will. Otherwise, we'll work on that tomorrow. Gloria's been here all day, and she's been helping me marry up stuff for the Stampin' Fun in the Sun. So every mini class is going into a cellophane packet, and then we're having labels printed for each of the packets so that when you get it, there's no confusion. So she was helping me with that. Mary Carl's, I know you're watching. All of the designer series paper was just ordered today, and I should be having it here by, today's Tuesday. I should have it here by Thursday. So we need to coordinate when you can come in, maybe Friday or a Monday, to help sorting of the paper. But I know you said that you'd like to help with that. So just, I saw your name, so I thought, I'm going to tell you that. All right. So here we are, though. We made it to this odd hour of 2:30 on a Tuesday because that's what fit best with the schedule. You guys, they always say if you're going to do lives, you have to do them when it works with your schedule. And that's when it worked with the schedule. Kelly had to leave, and leaves me here working on whatever I need to get done. So hello, Doris Munson. Doris Munson, you will know that you are next on my list for class registrations. At 20 after 2, I finished Mimi Hohenstein's, and I looked on the list, and your name was next. And I thought, am I going to get hers done in a minute or two? It never is a minute or two. And I looked across here, and I'm like, no, yours is going to probably take me 15 minutes, which is great. Like, I'm not complaining at all. But I knew that it was not enough time to make sure I wasn't too late for class today. But Doris, yours is next. Hi, Laura Sullivan. And there's Susan Bellamy with us as well. Hi, Karen Wetstein. Thank you, Karen, for helping proofread the PDF tutorial for this class. I was able to email it out this morning. I don't remember what time it was, but it got put into the Inspiration Hive, and it was emailed out to all the attendees. If somebody's watching and you did not get it in your email, you have to reach out to me. This class was a little bit wonky because we were able to design it and prep it and have it have a dual month shipping. So some of you received this kit back in April in your shipment, and some of you are getting it in your May shipment. And so I ended up with 2 class lists, it was really like, bleh. Like, I hope I didn't miss anybody type of feeling. So just know I still have at least 8 of these left. So if I did miss somebody, I can make it right. We can get it in the mail this week. If you want to take this class and you weren't on the list, also reach out to me because I can make sure you get it because we have some left. Hi, Joy Moody. But anyways, Karen helped me get the proofreading done so that we could send it out today. Hi, Mary Lemke. There's Sue Deppis. Hi, Marcia Svatek. Connie Moore's with us. Hi, Kimberly Snow. And Mel's Card Corner. Hello, Mel. And who else? Mary's here. And I'll watch for the email. Perfect. There we go. Remember, thumbs up. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. So let me drop the camera down. What we're going to do is the Homemade Sweetness Stamp-A-Stack. And I've already did a little bit of pre-prep work. I did this actually, I was supposed to go live Friday. So on Thursday night, I was cutting my little bits and parts. And now it's all gotten disheveled. But I started to do my stuff. Oh, I forgot to do a spoon, though. I forgot about a spoon. So anyways, we've got this card. We're going to make that. I'm just going to try to keep my stuff organized again. So we're going to make this one. And for those that are getting the class from me, you are going to have 5 sets of cards. So that must go there. And then there's a big jar in the back. So we're going to set you there. This one also has 2 jars, like this maybe. And then this one has, oh, they're so hard to see. They all blend in. There's one. And I might have mixed and matched them differently. So this one looks like that. And we'll set you right there. And then I've got this, and then I've got some randoms here. So I took it upon myself to make the magic of TV happen. So you guys didn't have to watch me cut out all these things. They are, unfortunately, fussy cut. Unless you have I understand. I don't have a brother scan and cut, but I understand if you do. I think you can run this through and it will cut it out for you. I did miss cutting something though, a spoon. So I'll have to figure out where I have a spoon hanging out. But for everybody who did this class with me that got the full package, you have a 12 by 12 pack of designer paper that you got. You got the combo pack of ribbon here, and you will use almost everything. These little guys, the little stinkers, are only 2 yards. They're not even 10 yards. They're 2 yards and 2 yards. So you almost use you'll make 3 of each of these 5 designs. So you're making 15 cards, and you use almost up all of the ribbon. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to be gracious with your ribbon. You want to be more conservative with it. And then the other thing you got is a package of these dots, the strawberries and the dots. So in here you'll have the blue Misty Moonlight with the melonish mambos, and then the strawberries. And these are weird little things. They kind of remind me of little erasers. They used to have these little baby erasers that were really small, but they have like a rubbery feel to them. All right, that's all I guess I gotta say. They're nice and like, they're not very tall, so that's pretty nice so that they don't get caught. Okay, then the other thing you got in your pack here is the card packet. It's a shame Stampin' Up! Didn't at least make them 5 yards each. I agree, 150%. That would have been amazing. 5 yards of each. I would have loved that. Yep, yeah, 2 yards goes so fast. So for those that did the class with me, that are getting the full, you would get this whole packet here, plus you would have 15 envelopes in the back. For people who are on my team, they have a team perk I offer is team pricing. And so those on my team, the Be Happy Stampers, they have the option of buying the product from themselves and then getting this class packet from me without the envelopes, because they would buy the envelopes from themselves. They would buy the gems and the ribbon. And so I have a packet here for me that is the team pricing option. And then I had my designer paper here that we're going to work off of. And what I want to do is walk through the tutorial along with this card packet. And we're going to get everything organized. And then we're going to make one of each card. And then you guys can, at a later day and time, make your other multiples or however you want to do it, right? So I am super excited, though, to show this off. I have had this here for a little while, and all I could do is show off the cover. And now look at this, you guys. We can open it up. Yay. Okay, so there's lots of pretty things in here. The catalog launched today, in case you guys didn't catch that memo. The thing I was excited the most is I saw that these little shimmer paintbrushes were... we were able to order them as of today. And I will say, you guys, I was up at 1 a.m. At 12:58, I knew that the anchors were on low inventory, and I needed at least 10 packs for me, and we needed 10 packs for Kelly's paper pumpkin altered class, so I needed the 20 packs. And my Stampin' Up! On the Sun, everybody gets a trinket, which is great, but they were on low inventory. And I'm like, oh man, I know when it's on low inventory, there's less than 100 is what we've always been told. And the 12:58 comes around and I have the anchors staged and I kept hitting refresh. And then at 1 o'clock, it let me put the quantity in and I added just like 2 more things and did close the order. Like within 45 seconds, I had that order closed. And I was like, oh, maybe I should have ordered, like I have a class coming up. I should have ordered the 4 right out. I wasn't thinking. So I'm like, oh, go back and order 4 more. And just like that, they were in my cart and like whoosh, they were gone. So the anchors went out before my eyes, which was okay. Like it is what it is. So I checked later on around 5 a.m. I was going back in there looking if the inventory status report was updated, and it was. And it said the week of May 4th, which is this week. Okay. So when you guys, I went to bed at 6:30. I woke up at 9. No, Gloria was here at 8. So I woke up to work with Gloria at 8, and then I went back down and laid down for an hour and a half. And at that time, I checked right before I went to bed or to the couch, whatever, and they were back in stock. So most people would never even know that those anchors were out of stock for a wee bit of time, and then they came back in. So that's just, you guys, it's like when you're playing bingo and you're getting really close and you're down to 1 and your heart starts like doing that thump, 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 thump thing. That's how I was at 12:59 to like 1:03. And yeah, it had the heart pounding because I was like, oh man, if I don't get these trinkets for the Stampin' Fun in the Sun for the projects that are already created, how I'm not gonna, it was too much to think about, right? When things work smoothly, that's when things are good. So anyways, we got a catalog, you guys. So Debbie Gass says, placed an order this morning, but you missed the sparkle pens. Oh, so you didn't see that they were there. Okay, how I knew that they were there is when you go in, the way that I looked is I always check out the new things. So when you go to shop and then new arrivals, that's the easiest way. And the first one that popped up here was the green one. And I was like, oh, that means that they're all here. And there's one. And then there was one. And there was one. And then there was one. And the kits are always there. So I always try to remember to go in to get the kit so that we can do the kit class. So, and then the pens were there. So yeah, so it was nice to be able to order them. And then Mel said she saw that happen and saw it disappear right before when the launch happened, but it was bad. Yeah, it was so great, you guys. When they can have something go out of stock in the middle of the night, when most people are not even working on their order, and have it up by 8:30, 9 o'clock, and people don't even know that's great. Like, that's amazing. All right, so your order was in at, 12:05. Good job, Connie. All right, so you guys, we can look at this all we want, but this is out here. So it's a lot. This is back to how the catalogs used to be, where they had all the sweet stuff, and then they have all of the stamps and all the dies, everything organized. A lot of demonstrator input over the last couple years to get us back to a useful and resourceful catalog, right? Now, we're still going to make the Beekeeper's Guide. You guys, Kelly, I think I've been mentioning this. She's been a little bit stretched thin, and she has the Beekeeper's Guide. She actually just sent it to Susan Bellamy for proofreading. They're both proofreading it, and we want to do the first round of proofreading, and I know there's a couple other people that watch me that like to proofread it too. We'll get there, but we wanted to get the first round of proofreading done. So the Beekeeper's Guide is going to have all of the online exclusives along with everything that's in the catalog. So it's still going to be your one-stop shop to shop from, which is what I need when I am working on designing. Because if I pull up my phone while I'm designing, I get lost in the sauce and I end up where I shouldn't be, like looking on Pinterest or getting doom scrolling on the Facebook, right? So I try to stay in paper when I'm designing, and the Beekeeper's Guide is the best way to do that. And Mary said she placed an order this afternoon, but the three of the, yes, we're out of stock. So when I put my order in this morning, the bundle was still available for the ink pads, but I did notice that they're coming back in stock either this week or next week. So yeah, so that's how it goes. All right, we're gonna make cards. So I pulled these stamp sets. I pretty much think this is what's used throughout all of them, but we'll see in a little bit. Fabulous Sayings was the online product of the month for like 2 months ago. And then Paradise Garden launched in March. Swirl Design was back from January. Notes of Spring was the product of the month for like 2 months ago maybe. And then Rolling Waves, and then primarily the Made with Sweetness and Filled with Sweetness are what is supposed to go with this product line here. Okay, but before I keep going, I don't want to forget to do the roll call. So let's do the roll call and see if we have everybody. All right. We kitted up 60 for this class, and Diane had 5. And so I have, it looks like 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 10 left. So that must mean I have 45 signed up, which is pretty good. It's amazing. So first on our list was Angelique Schaefer, and then Debbie Stone, Donna Grushke, Yvette Lopez, Leslie McMinn, Luann Trumppower, Michelle Foran, Susan Bellamy, Susan Devine, Chris Robinson, Donna Palazzola, Elaine Peranio, Mary Carls, Julie Bontringer, Karen Woods, Kelly Gibson, Kimberly Snow, Lisa Mullis, Mary Jo Stoll, Pat Shee Bischoff, Aline Mays, Rita Steffi, Rosie Prouty, Sarah Merchant, Sherry Everett, Stacy Ton, Laura Sullivan, Sue Esworthy, Susan Wormley, Tricia Fagley, Doris Munson, Mary Lemke, Sandy Coy Emery, Shirley Natali, Margie Yasui, Lindsay Sarbacker, and that is the first time I said that name out loud. Lindsay found us on Facebook, and she attended Bonnie and Shelly's Oldies But Goodies class last week or 2 weeks ago. Had a lot of fun. Searching around on the website, found this class and signed up. So super cool to a newbie taking classes with us. And then Laura Lee Cosgrove as well is a new person to us. So this is her first class that I got to say her name out loud. We also have Jean Shute and Rachel Horsch. So I like to do a call out to everybody who is taking the class with me to thank them personally for registering and paying for this class. I greatly appreciate your support. Without you taking classes with me, I wouldn't be doing all the classes that I'm doing, all the crazy classes. And also I like to do the call out because if I did miss somebody, we still have the opportunity to get them on the list. And if they weren't on the list and they want to be, we can still get them on the list. So that's a kind of a double dipper here. So yes, Lindsay's here watching her first ever class with me. Yay! Whoop whoop! So exciting. Well, hopefully I don't bore you too much. And I will say, Lindsay, I do bust out musical notes and words of songs without knowing the rest of them, and I make up words too. So yeah, that's what we do. So, and I see a bunch of you are here, and I got the frog in the process. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at the tutorial really quick because I want to call out how we did the tutorial. Okay, so I emailed it to everybody, and let's see, I would have saved that in my class emails folder, and maybe not. Let's see here. So many emails. So wait one moment. When did I send it? I think I sent it. I could have sworn I sent it. Hang on. Let's look in the sent box. Maybe I didn't send it. I had to have sent it. Hang on. New product of the month. The latest buzz. And is it in the drafts? Oh, no. Hang on. Did I not send it? No, I had to have sent it. No. May product of the month. May product of the month. Product of the month. Product of the month. Okay, so it's not there. You guys, I had to have emailed this. Where would I have emailed it? Sent box. Let's try this one more time. Susie to me, product of the month, to the latest buzz. Here it is, right in front of my face. Okay, so I always send an email that has hi to everybody who takes the class. You can watch me live here. And then at the bottom, I have Gmail. So at the bottom, way at the bottom, there's a little PDF tutorial. And you can open that up. And there's a QR code here. So that takes you right to the live. And it's hard to access the QR code from your phone. I don't know if I know how to kind of do that, but it has all the supplies that you need, and then we go through card 1. So the way that this PDF tutorial is spelled out is card 1 is basically the top card, and then the bottom of the pack, you see this black base, that's your card 5. So all the way at the bottom here, card 5 is the last one. So Jolene, so we took a picture of how we kitted the cards, and then Jolene made the tutorial match how we kitted the cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk through card 1 first, and we're going to cut all the paper that we need for card 1, and then we're going to insert it into the pile. And then we'll cut for card 2, insert it into the pile, and then all the way through 5. And so once we have all the paper cut and everything in a pile, that's when it'll be really easy for you guys to assemble your cards. Susan says, thanks for telling you about the Beekeeper's Guide. You'll get started on it. So, okay, and I don't know, Susan, just the note for Susan. Kelly said don't pay attention to certain things, like the page numbers are not correct, the index is not correct. What she's primarily wondering is, are we missing things? Or is there something last chance that shouldn't be in there? So it was more a high level look at it first, okay? And she might have put that in an email, okay? I'm not certain if she did or not, but we talked about that. All right, so Karen says, just looked in all 5. Oh, look at that. Karen said that all 5 ink pads are available right now. So if you guys want to get the bundle, it's still okay to do it. So what we're going to do, this one has, all right, so we're going to pull this off to the side. Oh, I need more space, right? We always have never enough space, right? Or I should just say we never have enough space. Like, so when you open this and pull this out of the cell, you guys, it's like putting 10 pounds of garbage in a 5-pound bag, or Diane, like that's what Diane says. We squeeze all of this paper in here and it's a tight fit. Some of the cellophanes will sometimes split on us, but when you pull that out of here, don't have it half sideways. You want to keep this stuff horizontal because right now there's lots of little loose moving pieces in here. And if you tilt this on its side, they're going to fall out and you're not going to know where they fell out and belong to. So for those that are newer, like Lindsay or Laura Lee, this is a golden ticket. it's got your name on it, but not mine, right? And then if you got team pricing from me, I put BHS. And if you got it in April, I wrote April. If you got it in May, I put May. It's got the name of the class. So if you're looking for this class on YouTube or in your email, like you can look for that name and then the date. Now, you guys, we did say that this was supposed to be on the 1st, and I moved it to today because of my whole printer issue. So, but just, you could take your, for those that aren't necessarily making your cards right now, you could always take a pencil or a pen and just write the appropriate date on there so that if you go back to make these later in time, you'll have the right date. Okay, so right now, how we have this kitted is there's, from everything from these 2 Misty Moonlights up is card number 1. Then underneath, the basic beige is card number 2. The pink would be card number 3. And Misty Moonlight again is 4. And Misty, nope, and then black is 5. So each card base is a change in the card. And there are 3 pieces of paper for each card, right? So within that, you'll have your mats, and we double matted all of these. So that's why there's a matching mat to it. And then all your bits and parts should be here. So the first card that we're working on is this guy, right? So we're going to pull him out here, and I'm just setting these off to the side for right now. I've got too many cords going on. Hi, Annette. Hi. All right, I was getting worried about you, girlfriend. Yeah, I didn't feel good. Oh, no. I wondered if it was something like that. Kelly wasn't feeling good either. And now, no, right? So don't share it. So what I have here on the inside, I have these 2 little guys. So I, unfortunately, by the magic of TV, only cut out 1 set of little jars. I did not think to cut out 3, but these are for my inside. And then I have the blueberry, and I must have, I know I cut this guy. Well, let's see here. I'm stealing from this other card, I think, and I don't know if I should be stealing from this one. But I know I didn't have all of my, I didn't match exactly because I had the teeniest, tiniest little scraps left that I was trying to work off. There's a orange and then the honey. So orange and a honey. And I wonder if I grabbed a honey for this one. Okay. I might have this guy, so this one's here and that, and then I think I'm going to put these 2 on this one. I chose different jars, all right? Not intentionally, but when I looked in my pack of paper, I had this little, like this really little scrap that I was working with, and I was using that. So one of the sheets of paper, let's just pull out everything here. So you guys will have 2 sheets of everything. For those that got the full pack of DSP, when we design a stamp stack, we divide the paper in half, and we set half of it off to the side, and we work with only half. So you should have the full half a pack left. So on this one, there's this sheet, which is this middle piece here. So we're going to need this one. This is super cool. I have an idea of a class that I want to do with this. I just need to figure out when I would have time to get it out of my head and onto paper. So, well, yeah, we'll see how that works. So this one has some fruit paper, which, oh man. Annette, can you want to do me a favor? Yeah. You know on that little white table that's in the middle of the garage, there's a 13 by 13, you got a haircut. 13 by 13 box that the sides are all flapped in. Inside there's a pack of Homemade Sweetness Designer Series paper. I thought I had enough sheets in here to do our cards today, and I'm realizing now that I will have to cut into a new pack. Oh, it's right here. Oh, look at that. It's on the back side of this paper. Well, look at us. Okay, so maybe I made Annette go run for nothing. We'll see in a moment. All right, there's too much stuff going on here, so let's move this here. So we have this piece here, which is a 5 1/4 by 4. And then this DSP is a 2 by 5 1/4. So we need to cut 3 of them, right? Because in your kit, hi Randy Schultz, we have 3 of them, okay? So how I would cut this is there is a direction this. I think this is the direction. I don't think it goes this way, I don't think it goes that way, and I don't think it goes like that. So just make sure you're paying attention to that when you're cutting this paper. But we need 5 1/4 by 4. And 4 times 3 is 12. So if we cut this piece on the 5 1/4 inch side, like this. This is all extra at the moment until the next cut. But then what we do is we flip this here at 4 inches and 4 inches. So we get our 3 mats right like that. Did Annette, are you okay, Annette? Tell Annette that I found the piece of paper I needed.
Annette, she's got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it was on the back side of the paper. I don't want her to keep looking if I'm good. So this is the mat that goes back here. Now we need this guy, which is the reverse on this, right? So now think about how you want to cut this. It's 2 inches, and 2 times 3 is 6. So what I'm going to do is cut at 6 inches here. It was on the back side of this. So I was all right.
That's good because I didn't see it.
You didn't even see it. Okay, so I'm going to cut this at 6, right? So this is extra. I'm going to put this on the scrapyard pile. And then, so we've got the 6 inches is the width we need, and now our height is 5 1/4. So I always like to cut off the non-factory edge. So I already made a cut here, so I'm going to leave the factory edge good, and I'll cut off the raw edge that I just had. So I'm going to cut this at 5 1/4. Now this is extra. We're going to use this in a moment. But now flip it back this way, because now we need a 2 and a 4, right? So you could either do 2 and 2, or I like to work backwards. So I know 6 minus 2 is 4. So I'll put it at 4, and then I'll slide the paper down to 2. It just seems like it's less picking up and putting it down. So this gives us our 3 pieces that are 2 by 5 1/4 that go on the front. Now, if we flip it over, this piece right here could go along the bottom, and it makes it look like they're sitting on a little table. And this piece right here, if I had to guess, is 1 1/2. So I'm going to do 4 inches, because that's the width I need. This is for the scrapyard. And then I'm going to flip it. So my blade is getting dull, and that's how I can see that raw edge, or that I'm cutting. I am not a fan of the fuzzies. So because I'm not a fan of the fuzzies, it's time to do this. So Stampin' Up sells the blades, and at this point, knowing me, I save this forever and I have a hard time throwing it away. But it is okay to throw these away if they're starting to cut not good and frazzlies. So there's a trick for this, and I just generally, I go like that. I don't have the patience to take it down on the bottom and do its thing. I just kind of split it. All right, so don't put this back in the container like I have a tendency to do. Put it in the little garbage and you'll be fine. Or recycle, or whatever you got to do with it. But, all right, so now we're back in business. So this was 1 1/2, and half of 1 1/2 is 3/4. So this is going to give us, ooh, there it is. That cut much better. So that gives us 2 of them, but there's 3. So you can make a decision here. You don't have to do that. It's just the inside. Hi, Julie Bierschbach. But if you like it, you have this piece over here. And what you could do is cut 3/4 off the edge and back to the scrapyard and flip it this way and do 4. Now, if that's too small of a scrap, your call. I think it's too small for me, so I'm going to put that into I'll file that to the recycling bin. All right, so for this one, we've just cut out of the same sheet of paper. We've cut the 3 5 1/4 by 4s, the 3 2 by 5 1/4, and then 3 3/4 by 4s. And then that all, so you have your pile here, right? So here's your pile. What you can do is take this, and we're going to set this and put it off to the side and separate the pile. Oh, but wait, I'm going to put my little jars with it, because technically you should have cut ×3. I only cut ×1 because I wasn't thinking ahead about that. And I'll just set my sample card with that, and that's ready to go, which we'll come back to. The next card is this one with the beige base. So I'm going to set that there. It's this guy. So this one has that jar, and this is all fussy cut, right? I already did it. Those 3. Okay, and then on the inside, we've got those two. Those two are hanging out somewhere. I'm going to just grab them from this card, I guess. So those. All right. So this one uses that paper, which I don't know. Let's see if I have it. I do. There it is. Yay. Okay. Okay, so it's this paper. Like, busy. This hurting. It hurts the eyes right now. So this paper is a 5 1/16 by 3 inches tall. Okay. So what I'll do on this, you gotta make sure you get your direction correct again. So 3 inches tall by 5 1/16, you get 2 here. Or if you cut it 5 1/16 and you do 3, 3, and 3, then you have, I think, the smallest amount for scraps. So I'm gonna cut it at 5 1/16 as the paper faces me correctly. Whoa, that sounded really weird. Okay, so 5 1/16, and then we're gonna do 3 inches. But I know 3 and 3 is 6. Sorry. So I'm gonna do the 6 there, and then 3, and then I'm gonna do 1 more here at 3, and that is for this top section right there. All right, so this is a scrap at the moment. The bottom here has the plaid piece. And I just gotta see here. I have a scrap here. I'm gonna use just a scrap what's on the back side. That guy, okay. So this designer paper down here is 1 inch by 5 1/16. So let's just see if I have 3 inches here. Ooh, I don't have 3 inches. I'm a little bit short. I mean, I get that I'm short in general, but my paper is a little short too. So first I'm gonna do, here's what I'll do. Let's see what I'm gonna do. 5 1/16. And then we need 3 1-inch sections. So I cut it at 2, which I know gives me 2 of them. Right, so it's 2 pieces here at 1 by 5 1/16. Then I'm going to dip back into this one and cut that at 5 1/16 by 1 inch. Right, so those 3 pieces are what is needed along the bottom. Then we have this right here, which this, you have wiggle room. It doesn't have to be that exact height. So this is, it's 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to use this one. And luckily I have this little bit left here. And I'm going to see what size that is. It's 1 3/4. So it's a hair over 3/4. So I'm just going to eyeball that amount right there. Hi, Sherry Ott. So let's see here. This one's a little bit taller, which isn't going to be a big deal. That one's the same size, and then this one's even taller. I think I might just trim a hair off of that, just so it's not quite as tall. It's all right. So that blue checkered plaid piece here, we've got those for the inside, and then we've got the 1-inch pieces for the outside, and then I've got 2 jars for the inside here, and then the 3 jars for the outside, right? This little guy goes back to the scrap pile. And so when you have your pile here, what we just cut is gonna go with this one, okay? So now I'm gonna just move everything off to the side, and we're gonna grab the card with the recipe and put that with it. The next one is a pink one, inky pinky. This guy right here. Actually, it's probably a girl. It's very pink. All right, so that, and then this will go on the inside. So this is the one that has the hearts. If I only had a heart. So let's see if I've got that sheet here, which I do. Yay. All right. This one's an easy cut again. That designer paper is 5 1/16 by 3 13/16. So you'll get 3 of them across the top with a little sliver left. So want to make sure your hearts are going the right way. So I'm going to go like this, and our height this time is 5 1/16. So we have 5 1/16. So go back to my scrap pile for right now. This one makes your eyes hurt when you're looking at it, it looks like to me. and then 3 13/16, 3 13/16. For those that hate 16ths, just go up a hair or down a hair. You'll either get more margin on your pink piece or you'll get less. So then by this little strip you have left, you could save that for your inside if you want. You could always put it along the side. I do like that better along the bottom. So I'm just going to put this in the scrapyard for now. So other than that, so we've got the jars here. This is already embossed for you. We have this piece here, which is about 3/4 by 3 13/16. So let's grab this pink piece again. And let's see what we can do. So I would cut this at 3 13/16. And then we need 3/4 of an inch. And 3/4 of an inch is 1.5 inches plus 3/4. So 2 1/4 is where I'd start this at. And then I would work my way backward, right? So I go 1.5 and then 3/4. Now that's sometimes hard for people to do that kind of math, and I get that. I guess the more I get used to doing it, the easier it is to do that. I like pushing paper this way versus always having to go to 3/4 to 3/4 to 3/4. So these little strips are what we're going to use on the inside. We've got our jars here. And you've got the bigger mats that we just cut. And so pulling back our pile, we're just going to add that to the pile here. Pick these up. Let's put the card, the recipe here, and we'll come back to those. All right, next is this yellow-ish one. So this one has that jar, those, and then always upside down. Let's see here. Perfect. So I don't exactly have the same jars, but I grabbed a red and a bluish one. So we got those. So this one has a flower on the side here. You could also do it this way. We might change that up. This is a 5 1/16 by 3 13/16. So let's find that page. Hopefully it's in here. There it is right there. All right, so we need this one. So I would cut this at 5 1/16. And then 3 13/16, 3 times. Now, if you're making more than 3, you would just keep cutting, right? So some people like to make extras of the cards while they're working on them. You would just continue to keep cutting until you have all the pieces that you need. So we did have this little piece here, and that is going to be perfect along the bottom here. So instead of doing a side hustle over here, we're going to do a bottom hustle, okay? But we need 2 more. So let's see where we can get that from. We have this piece here, but I also have this scrap right here. I might just utilize that versus cutting off this bigger piece here. So we need, I want it along the bottom, so I am going to do 5 1/16. And then 1.5. And then 3/4. You guys, a lot of these cards are the same number. These bottom strips are all 3/4 of an inch high, and then they go the width of the bottom, or you could do it up and down. You know, this one's on the side. And then a lot of these mats, you could see here that they're 5 1/16 by 3 13/16. If you hate that number, you could do 5 by 3 3/4, and you would just see a little bit more white mat. If you want to see less white mat, you could go up to 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. All right, so we have our pieces here. So it goes with this. And then the last one here, so we're going to move this over to the other side. Back to the other side with this. Then our Ladybug Picnic is the last one. And I have my inside pieces there. And it came out perfectly. I have these 3 for the outside. This designer paper is the same that we just did. 5 1/16 by 3 13/16. So we need this Ladybug Picnic piece, which is that guy. And if you didn't catch it, I missed cutting out a spoon. I forgot about a spoon. So I'm gonna go into this. So it's on the back side of the hearts. You're gonna need to find a spoon. They're different too. So just pick whichever you want. But I think I'll just set this off to the side because we'll merge that back in somewhere else. These ladybugs have no orientation as far as I can see. So I'll do my magical cut at 5 1/16. And then rotate the paper. And you get 3 13/16 by 3 13/16 here. And then another by 3 13/16. Okay, so I know I cruised through that cutting faster than you probably wanted me to. But that's why we do a tutorial as well. So the cutting, by watching the video, shows how I would cut it. But just know the tutorial has the measurements. It has DSP Homemade Sweetness Blue and then fruit. And it has the measurements here. So you can see by looking at the card, the measurements, all of them are listed right underneath in its own section here, cutting and scoring. So you can refer to all those measurements that I just blurted off like I had diarrhea of the mouth. You guys could see them right here written down for you. And the inside on this one also has a little tablecloth looking thing down here. So I don't know, I think that's a little too skinny, mini. So let's see what I have for scrapperoos in here. Not much for the ladybugs. So we're gonna grab this piece right here. And I think that we need to put this. Oh yeah, I'm caught on something. Let's get you there. All right, I want some little tablecloths. So they are 4 inches wide. So I'm gonna cut this at 4 by 3/4. So I'm gonna cut it at 2 1/4. So I know that I'm done with this. And then I work backwards. So 1 1/2. Right, because 2 1/4 minus 3/4 is 1 1/2, and half of 1 1/2 is 3/4. So I'm gonna put that right at 3/4, and it gives me the 3 pieces here I need. And these are all my little jams and honeys, and that goes on the last pile. So that's officially all the cutting, besides my little spoon, which it's not so hard to cut the little spoon. So I can say if I cut this, then we're done with all the cutting. And it's adorable putting this little spoon. So you guys just remember, you're getting 3 spoons though. I am only doing 1 because I only have it in me to make 1 of each card, right? Because once we make 1, you'll know how to make them, and you could always make your quantities later. So just a reminder, I do have plenty of this class available if anybody is looking for it. So now we can say the cutting's done. So now I've got a big, huge pile, right? I'm not going to tilt it on its side, but now I have them in reverse order. So I'm going to start with card number 5, and I'm going to work backwards in the tutorial. But I don't even know if I'll bring up the tutorial to show it to you anymore because I know how to put the cards together. So I think I do anyways. So we'll take this out of the plastic so that you can not have a glare. And how crooked am I? Look at that. Okay, that's better. So we only need 1 of everything per the card. So we're going to save these. We need those. We need 1 of these. We need 1 designer paper. We'll need 1 white mat. 1 Calypso coral mat. 1 of those. 1 of these. You can totally see that we use that to get the label out of there to save paper. 1 of the blacks. We really did good. We cut this out of that at the same time that got cut. Super cool. And then you need a black base. So it doesn't feel like there's 3 there, but there are. Okay. So I'm going to set this off for a later in life, maybe Karen Wetstein project. We'll see. She helps me put together stuff like that when class is done. So she might be even rolling her eyes right now thinking that I'm going to do that to her. So we're going to burnish this. All right. And let's just lay out. This is always good, especially if you're new to putting cards together. If you get glue happy, you might make mistakes. But if you lay out your pieces, you can do your dry fittings and test things out, test those waters, and understand how things fit together. And so that is, and then too, if you want to make, like if you want to see more of the coral, you could always cut the designer paper a little. So here's that little white piece is going to go here to cover up that hole. Then you have this, and then these are double mats for your inside. This is for your inside, and we've got, I gotta be missing something. I think that there's a second one of those things, honey. And maybe I could have sworn it was there when I started, but we'll find it. It's blending in somewhere. So you can kind of get an idea of where things lay out before you start gluing. For this one, we're using a little note of thanks. So when we design cards, we generally do the layout, and then we find the words to fit in wherever we want to stamp. So we found Notes of Spring has a little note of thanks. So we're going to use that. That fits perfectly in there. And on the background here, there's some squiggly lines. We pulled those from the Sign Designs. Sorry, Swirl Designs. These little lines right here. They definitely have gotten a workout these last few months. So we'll pull that out and prep that. And that will need black and we'll need coral. And then we have Thank You. That thank you comes from Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Actually not, but it is Paradise Garden. And there's this huge thank you that fits on a big block. I'll have to grab that one. And so we got that staged. All right, so we need some coral ink and some black. And you guys will see that. Oh man, where do I have ink pads? Oh, they're back behind me. So, ha ha ha. Coral. Well, here's this guy. We need coral. And there it is. Okay, it was just in the wrong spot. So let's do our Stamp-a-Ruin. So this is my white black pad, right? So it's a white pad that I put the Memento ink in because I find that mine stamp better when I use a foam pad like this. So we're going to put thank you, no thank you, across the top here. Good deal, even with a cat fur. Look at that. Who would have thunk it? I'm good with it though. You can hardly see it. Then this is hard to stamp on this color of a paper or cardstock. It is a little bit darker than I'd like. But this ink pad, because it's so juicy and it stamps really good, I am not afraid to do it. If you have a black embossing powder with a Versamark pad, you could also emboss with black on this. But we are going to go for it here. You guys doing okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Lots of paper flying.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna let that ink marinate. See, for mine, it stamps pretty decent. Now, if I did that with Memento, it wouldn't do that. So, I use that. So then, this guy right here is gonna use the Calypso Coral, and we're just gonna create some background texture behind. So you don't have to stamp the whole thing because most of it gets covered up. But I'm gonna go right there. And I'm gonna go right through the middle here. and I'll go along the bottom. That's generally enough. I don't have a tendency of stamping where you don't see it. And if you're really curious, you could kind of play this out and see if you've got enough. And if you don't, you'll have to figure out a way. So if this guy goes here and that guy goes here, so I see that there's a little bit of a white gap here. So I'm going to actually take and do a little bit more right up there. If you're worried about hitting where you don't want it to hit, just take a scrap paper and then it won't go over the top of where you don't want it doubled up. All right. I think that's it for Inky Dinky Doo time. Let's get glue happy. All right. So there's no ribbon that is going underneath any layer. So we could get this glued down. This piece could get glued. I like to get as many things with glue on. If I'm opening up that glue bottle, I want to make it as useful as possible. This is going to get glued. This is going to get glued. And that's going to get glued. Then we just hope a cat doesn't jump up here. Okay? All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. Oh, man. We can't get in any trouble if we don't have glue that's going to come out. Oh, there it is. Okay. I can see this is going to be the struggle bus of glue bottles, though it is almost empty. So, you know what that means? It's time for a new one. All right. You got to be careful when you open the new one because it's going to oozy goozy out. Maybe. There it is. Okay. I got here. This one. This little guy. This one. This one. I know this makes some people really nervous, but it's all right. Relax. I'm not really a professional, but I know I made a card or two in my day. And I can sometimes hear the cats approaching me. That's the only time I'd be worried. I think Annette got glue on Honey's tail the other day anyways. I could feel it. Okay, Honey got glue on her tail. Annette had stuff staged with glue, and Honey just happened to roll.
I was gluing and her tail went right across.
Oh, yeah. Honey gets twitchy tail.
Yeah.
And so she got whoosh, 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 and then she whooshed right over the glue. You'll have that. All right, so we're going to put this guy in. And now if you're making all three of your cards, I would be very cohesive and efficient with my time too. I would glue all my white mats, and then I would glue all my coral mats, and then I would glue all my DSP. So this goes along the bottom. So it really does add a finishing touch when you have that double mat on the inside. And we double mat, so you have 15 extra mats with this one. All right, so this I popped up with some dimensionals. Whoa, he came off like that. So let's put that like this. So Stampin' Up! Has white and black dimensionals, and the black ones come in really handy when you are putting them on the back of black. So they mask and you don't see them peeking out then. All right, so this is just centered top to bottom, left to right, like that. All right, this guy, oh, we missed gluing that, so let's glue that. And then I gotta make sure I get, hello, Nancy Mole. Nancy Mole, I need to ask you a question. Are you coming to Wisconsin from Canada? Because I saw you selected porch pickup for a class. And I know you said that you needed to call me. So maybe you're calling to tell me you're gonna make a visit to Wisconsin. And if that's the case, that's pretty amazing and we need to chat. So I was putting that together because I was perusing registrations and I saw you registered for a class. And I thought, well, she really wanted to talk to me yesterday and that you had a plan. So I was trying to piece together what's happening. So you have some ribbon here in white. And I would have to say, I would guess this amount, right? So It's not rocket science, but it's about 5 or 4 inches, right? So buttons on my underwear, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, like over 4 inches. But the trick here is to make sure you have enough. And you fold it in half, right? So you have the loop here and you have your 2 tails off. You take your loop and you pinch it. And from the top down, you push down and bring the loop through first, okay? You have to be careful because you don't want to rip the little piece of paper here. So then you open up your loop and you grab your 2 tails and you bring them through your loop. Now, when you pull this, you have to be very careful. If you pull it and it doesn't want to move, you're going to have to do the assist. And the assist is to bring it with, I'm grabbing it from down here with my fingers and kind of feeding it through. If you pull hard and it catches, it's going to rip the hole open, which you don't want. Hi.
More of these.
Yeah, so they'd be in the Lazy Susan. Is that where you were looking?
Yeah.
Push the door to the left. Yep. Underneath, keep going, keep going. Underneath there, right where your right hand is. Under at the very bottom. Is there another pack right there? Are those 15 by 13? I think that they are.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So by doing it the way I just showed you, it gives you your loop over the top like this. If you do it from the bottom up, it's gonna look like that. So I guess whatever you like better, right? That looks kind of cute too, but that's how we get a loop on there, or this thing. So then this is gonna get popped up, and you could definitely use the black dimensionals again. So I know that doesn't use a lot of ribbon, but by the time you make 3 of them, that's a foot right there out of 6 feet. So this one, you're going to have this lined up that you see a little bit of the white, and this hangs over the edge ever so slightly. Okay. Our honey dude here, I popped up with some dimensionals at the top. The jar here, I also popped that at the top. Then I'm going to put the bottom flat. So with the bottom being flat, it's kind of tuck under the label, and then at the top, it gives it a little bit of height. So these guys, this orangey jar, corally jar, is kind of lined up with that label. We're going to try something like that. And then the little honey bear dude. The honey bear dude reminds me, my mom and dad always had the honey bear like this. And we always had cocoa wheats. Cocoa wheats can't be beat. They're the creamy hot cereal with the cocoa tree. Should be big and tall. Have lots of fun. Eat cocoa wheats, everyone. Do you guys remember that?
Nope.
You don't remember that jingle?
Oh, well, I kind of do, but I didn't like cocoa wheats.
Oh.
I didn't listen.
Yeah, so mom and dad, so Tyler went over by mom and dad last week, and they made him cocoa wheats, and he came back talking about cocoa wheats, and I'm like, we grew up on cocoa wheats. And my dad would put ice cream and honey on them, so that's how I remember the little honey bear. So I put 2 dimensionals behind here, and that sits right in there. Now, look at it. My honey's covered up a little bit, so we're going to take this, and we can still finagle this, right? We never push down a lot. So if you don't push down really hard, you can still finagle things around. But we're going to go like that. So you can read the honey. Honey. Okay, very good. Very nice. So we have them kind of resting on the label to make them grounded. Then you want to trim your tails so that they're not hanging off your card. And I do feel like these pieces here are not going to be wasted. We will use them on another card in the future. I can assure you that. That will be an option. Or I hope it will be. All right. This, though. Like, what might you do? There is the possibility that you put a little dimensional back here underneath the knot. And that will help secure that so it's not a flippy floppy. There. Inside, we're going to put a little jar. So I am missing a jar of honey. There is a second one here. I could have sworn I had it at some point. If I find it, we'll go back and put it in. And if I don't find it, I see one eyeing me up right here, actually. I see one here. So I can always cut that. Nancy said road trip, but we still need to talk. Okay. Aren't I a good detective, Nancy? I put that together. That's exactly how Mary Lemke would be. I think you and Mary Lemke would get along really well because Mary Lemke's always loving a road trip as well. All right, so we're going to set this guy here for now. If I find my honey or want to put my honey here, I'll set it there. So, all right. We have one finished out of 14, let's say. All right, so you'll make 2 more of this, right? Because the Stamp-A-Stack is 3 of each card. What happened?
Well, we're out of the
You're
two-tone green.
Yeah, we are, because I stole from them. I mentioned that it went out of stock, and I had to steal from it for the In Color Club, and I had to steal from it for my product shares. So, yes, only do what you have. And it's not coming back until next week. But I'll order more next week, yes. I'm sad. I had it in my cart, and it disappeared before my eyes. So that is true. We used to have 117 sheets, and I took 16 sheets, I think. Yup, I wasn't paying attention to the Peaceful Pine two-tone that it went out of stock right before my eyes. And if I would have known that, I would have put it on with my anchors, the trinkets. Okay, so there's our one. Just remember, you guys, later in life, you have a project here to make another card. Well, 2 of them, actually. All right. Next, we have, gems. We didn't talk about gems. Annette, there's a black marker in there. Would you mind grabbing the black magic marker out of there? There should be a black one, or hopefully, maybe. Okay, so you're probably wondering, where did we get... There's only red? Okay. Well, it's okay. Wait. It's hiding. You guys are probably wondering where these black gems came from. Because you're like, wait, we don't have black gems, but we made the black gem. You could also use your Stampin' Blend in black, but I hate to use a Stampin' Blend on coloring gems. It helps, it works, you can do it, but it does wear on the marker tip, and I'd rather waste a Sharpie tip than waste a blend tip. So I've got 2 small, and a big here. All right, so if you touch them now, they're going to take make your fingers black. If you wanted to go around the edges, you could figure out a way to do it. But I will say that if you go around the edge, you're not going to get much. And it's going to make the plasticky piece get the ink on it. And then you're going to end up scooping that up with your fingers, and you're going to get black ink. So I'm not going to try to do the sides. Okay, but Sharpie comes in very handy. And you have to be careful, because wherever the ink from the Sharpie is on this the plastic, it's going to get on your fingers. So I put one here, and then put one there, and the last little I didn't want to touch them with my fingers because I know they're wet. But we colored them, right? So when we got to this card, we said none of the gems matched this card, but what we did is we colored them black, and then they matched, and life was good. So for this, though, this is just going to get away. So I'm going to cut that off and put that in my little garbage. All right. So, but remember, you're making 3, so you'd probably want to color 9 of them. Okay. So we'll set that off to the side. Set that off to the side, and now we'll grab the next one. So the next one looks like this. Okay. So we have all the jars here. There's not going to be 124, there's going to be 120, because I pulled mine off to the side, I think. Okay, this is where the spoon comes in. And you need this one. So in case you guys missed it, I showed off one of the attendance gifts yesterday. Just a side note here, I'm going to be a squirrel. This is one of the attendance gifts that we did for the Stampin' Fun of the Sun. Annette hasn't even seen this yet. It's a paperweight. So when you're working on designing cards, you have them flopping all over the place. You can put the paperweight to help hold it down. And we added the Be Happy to it. So it's a really cool heart-shaped crystal. And so we're working on a little pillow gift idea to put it in. And that came yesterday. Whoop, whoop. So we need one of these. And one of these. One of those. One vellum. This is the embossing folder that comes with this suite. So it's something about the ladybugs and the picnic. So that's already embossed for you. And you can see here we cut out a white label. Not for this card, but for a different card from that mat. Haha, well, we did on some of them. And, well, that is just very interesting. There's 6 here. So I think they must have been 3 short and cut more because that's supposed to be only 3. Okay, so I only need 1 though. So we're gonna put this on my pile here and set that off to the side. You do have to be very careful. If you set anything on this while this is still wet, it will take the color to the whatever you set on top of it. All right, so let's fold this. Make sure your corners burnish really nicely. Or not burnish nicely, but match up nicely and then burnish it. Okay, horizontal. So again, this is another one where let's map out our pieces. Flowers are non-directional, so you can see it doesn't matter which way you do them. And then we're going to put that guy through the middle like that. The vellum, just it needed something more, so we added vellum. Here's that dude, and then our inside. So this one also uses the Notes of Spring. That's where the happiest birthday wishes comes from. So we're going to grab that at the same time that we put some of these other ones away. And here it is. So Notes of Spring has happiest birthday wishes, and that fits perfectly in that label. Such crunchiness. Okay. We need Misty Moonlight ink, and then on the inside, Hoping Your Day is Perfect. That comes from a set that is called Rolling Waves. Right there. So it's got You're in My Thoughts. Happy birthday. So it's got some pretty sentiments in here. So this little dude right there. And Misty Moonlight is what we're using on this one. So we'll go ahead and stamp that really quick. I have a brand new Misty Moonlight ink pad here. It's only been used once. I haven't even put, so you guys, when you get new ink pads, they have these stickers on the bottom. And I haven't even put my stickers on yet. So yeah. How many sheets am I short?
I think I'll count.
Like
18 for sure of the
yeah.
2 tone.
Yeah, plus my 4. Because I think there were 100 and
You get 4 2-tone?
I need 4 for myself.
Oh, then we need 22.
That makes sense. I think there was 101 or 102 there. All right, so look at this pristine pad. No cat fur on it, no scratches, no divots, no chunks because my nail took any chunks out of it. And it's going to stamp phenomenally, amazingly well. Love it. How crisp that is. So good. So good. And then now for this, I changed it up and I'm putting this on the bottom, right? So we don't have to, if you put it on the side, you're going to center your saying a little bit different. But I'm going to go with the little bottom. Action. Jackson. All right. It for the Misty Moonlight. Okay. Let's get glue happy. What can we do first? All right. This fits on there. So we can get that glued. both of these glued. That glued. Ooh, I got some love there. And then these get glued. Now, I've been resting this bottle between my legs. I'm going to see if that warmed. Oh, yeah, look at that. So when you heat up the glue, it wants to work its way out a little bit more. If it's cold, it doesn't want to run out. So, what is that? The inside, perfect. So you can see that it was hardly coming out earlier, but now it's coming out. We're going to get this whole card done off of that one empty glue bottle. Look at that. Okay. So this one's for the outside. Right here. And then this will cover up your missing label. Okay, this we'll put on the inside. And then this one can go next. And then this one. Oh, do you want to text him now? Gloria? No, you're good?
I'm good, yes.
Okay. And then this, if you're for inquiring minds that really want to know, you are from the bottom 1 inch. So if you like things to be exact, 1 inch. And then you can test this side out. That's about 1 inch. Okay, so there we go. That's our arm through the middle. Then this one uses the blue ribbon. So let's grab that. So I try to get underneath the plastic, but not the ribbon. You get the ribbon. Sometimes these come off so easy and sometimes they don't.
Packs we're going to open with the DSP, do you want them left in that order?
I want them in groups of 4 crisscrossed for now. Perfect. Then we need the tearing tape. And you need one waiting in the wings over there. And then this guy is across the bottom right-hand side. So you're not always going to have 4 because some have more than 4 up in a pack. So I kind of have them in order as they are.
Okay.
So just crisscross them by pattern, I guess, by new type of DSP. This is a loop, a tail, and a tail. So I'm going to go a little bit over the middle area here. So right about here. It catches the tearing tape. And then I'm going to bring it back at an angle and make a small loop. Right? So I'm bringing it back here. Making a little bit bigger of a loop. Catching that tearing tape. Wow. I have the love, you guys. I'm collecting my coins. I will turn that off. So every email I get makes a ding if I let it. Okay, so there's that. Then you're going to grab your ribbon scissors. And we're going to cut a shorter tail first. So about like that. Then there should still be a little tape there. What you can do is use that cut edge and make it the length you want it. Right, like that. And then from the back here, cut it. So I've wasted no ribbon whatsoever when I do stuff like that. Okay? And then you're going to take your waiting in the wings tearing tape and no. So
You want them separated, the 4 piles? No, just...
So you can't have each one on top of itself, I guess. You're going to have to crisscross every one of them. Because otherwise I don't know where one's going to start and one's going to stop.
Right, but one whole pack.
Yep.
We're doing 4 piles, so this one...
Yes, but no.
Right now,
Like the in color has actually 2 in 1. Like the in color is different because there's only 5 colors, where the color families have 10 in them. So I would can you just open each pack and then crisscross them for now until I can work with you to show how to sort them. Okay, then this will get some dimensionals. on the back. So that's staged and ready to go. And my jars also. So this cherry preserves is going to have a couple across the top. The lemon will have a couple across the back, top. I think I put right there as well. So let's do that one. The little blueberry one. I'm trying to feel if I have them just across the top. Like that. This one, those two get glued on the inside. So let's take them, let's get rid of them. So we have the taller one to the right, up a little higher, and the one to the left is down just a little bit and slightly overlapping it. So it makes it look like it's in front of it. Okay, so that's nice. Hello, Yvette Lopez. Good afternoon to you. Hopping on late. We'll try to get some done. Perfect. So let's see how we're going to layer these. Our spoon is not popped up at all. And I'm going to pick these off so that they're staged and ready to go. And Annette, I have some DSP up on my rolling table upstairs that needs to get brought down because I only had 3 and 2 packs of some of them. So I had to order 1 or 2 more. And the odd ones are upstairs. So you're going to have like, some of them only have 3 or 2. This right here, what I would do, it's kind of, oh, you know what, I'm lucky because I have a sample here, you guys. So this is great when you make a card at home and then you want to make another one. So you're probably like, well, where do you put this? You're going to want to center it top to bottom, and it's about the same distance on the side. So if you were going to put this down, you would glue it right about here. But where do you put the glue? You don't know necessarily. Anywhere where these things are, you could put glue because you won't see it. But you don't know that till your jars are down. But because I have this card, I can actually set this right here. And my lemon one, I'm lucky I can put it right over the top and I can see it as a guide, right? And then this one, what I'll probably do here is grab a glue dot and put a glue dot behind here and set that here, right? Lucky me. And then this one too, might as well take and put glue dots. You could use liquid glue too, doesn't matter. I like non-committal dots sometimes. So then this, like that, right? So now that I've got this situated, I can flip this over and I can run my tear and tape across the back. You just have to be careful with any kind of glue and vellum. You're going to see it through it. So now that, and you guys might just guess and put a piece of tear and tape right through the middle there, and that will work as well. So now I've got that lined up. I can center it top to bottom and to the left. This little guy, okay, so this vellum is a little bit flippy floppy here, but I know my label is going to go here. So what I could do to help that situation, grab the glue dot, put that there. That'll help hold that corner down. And that will go right about there. And then we have our spoon. And now this is kind of flippy floppy, right? But I know I could put a little assistance underneath, right? Where that jar ends. Like that. That will help hold it. And then for the spoon, you could do liquid glue or you could do glue dots. I'm going to grab a glue dot here and there. And then we've got it like the spoon is resting right like that. And I forgot, what did I forget? No, I didn't. Ha ha. This is my here. Ha ha ha. I'm good. That goes here. I thought I didn't glue my inside in. All right. So we have our inside in. We've got this here. And what I grabbed is so cute, putting these little baby strawberries in the spoon. Now, I know it's definitely not like the right size or anything, but it is cute putting these little strawberries in the spoon. And then I've got this blue over here mixed with and a blue right there. Okay, so the one thing I'm not doing very well, you guys, is Stella-ing. But because all this designer paper is designer paper, you can go over and Stella all of the designer paper stuff. So like on the last card, you could definitely Stella all those. And it puts that little bit of shimmerness on the front. And we got a brand new Stella here, so it's very nice. Okay, so there you go. We've got 2 done. Looking good in the neighborhood. So these are the 2 we've done. And now, again, you're going to make 3 of each of these if you got the kit from me. Because we got everything staged and prepped for you. So, let's set you over there. Put you there. Put you like that. And then we're going to get to Inky Pinky here. So this one, now those tails are not going to work for this card. I'm hopeful that we can still use them. Okay, let's clean the stamps. And we're going to need to grab Melon Mambo. Mambo number 5. And especially for you, I'm trying to think where that comes from. It is filled with sweetness or notes of spring. So let's pull those out. We're done with that one. And oh, the especially for you comes from this set right here. Especially for you. So we can grab that. And put this one back. And then on the inside of that, we've got, oh, I just put it away. Happiest birthday wishes. So let's grab that guy back. And he looks to be stamped in Misty Moonlight, which we have right here. All right, but let's grab our piles of things. So we need our jars that were cut out. One little inside. One of those mats, which goes like that. Well, actually, if I had to guess, it goes like that. And then this is a little strip. We need this guy, that. So these we don't need right now. This is where the designer paper is going to cover that up. And then you have, so I'm going to set this off to the side. And we'll work with these pieces just to make one card. All right, what can we glue? I think we can glue some things, just to glue things. So these can get glued together, and then these can get glued, and then our inside could get glued, and we'll save the white mat for the moment. Okay, wait. Let's see if I get anything else out of this guy. Oh, he's getting down there. Oh, man. Okay, there's that. Okay. You guys, the same way with your glue, you try to get as much out of it as you possibly can. Oh, look at that. We got those all matted. All those mats glued. All right, so this goes on your outside. So because I'm using liquid glue, it allows me to wiggle it around. Make sure you get your hearts on here going the right direction. Okay, this one goes goes right on the top of that mat. So we have already got that embossed for you. And then this is our inside mat. Okay. So our Misty Moonlight is for the happiest birthday wishes. If I was smart, I would have been stamping all the stampy stuff. You know, that would have been a wise thing to do. That is definitely going uphill both ways in the snowstorm. That's better. And then, what's your question?
With this open pack of the velveteen, it's not a full pack.
It should be a full, is it not a full pack?
It was already open.
Right, but that's okay. It should have been a full pack though, right? Like, did you see if there's 6 sheets in it? Yeah. Just because it's open doesn't mean it's not full. Here's our Melon Mambo. Are you saying that I hear you guys talking?
I said she knows everything. That's why
I have ears like my dad.
I know you do.
Perfect. Look at that little guy. All right. So we'll glue these 2 things first. Oh man. Let's see here. I'm going to get every little drop out of this bottle. Look at that. Oh man. You have to be really careful if you tap like this on your paper, because sometimes it puts little divots in it. So you don't want to push too hard. But look at that. I got it. There's that. Make sure your hearts are facing the right way. Goes right there. And then this one has the big cherry preserves in the inside, which is so cool. All right, we're going to take this one. Debbie says she has 4 open bottles at the moment. Still squeezing a bit out of the 3rd and the 4th. Yes, it's so hard, you guys. I have right in arm's length, I have 3 right here that I'm like, they feel like they have glue in them. They're just not cooperating like I want them to. So I sit there and I don't throw them away because I feel like just get a little bit more out of it. All right, this is going to get popped up. We're going to use these guys, or do I have? I do. One moment, please. Let's get some of the big ones here. I like using 6 of these big ones on this size of a mat. All right, then this is going to get centered top to bottom, left to right. I don't think that this embossing folder has any direction to it, so you can get that on here however you need to. That looks good. You do have the hearts to help you get it on here straight, so that makes a difference. This, I just glued this flat. So, okay, it's hanging off. So this is actually, I got the jar lid thing. We used it as a quasi table. So it's one side here, it seems like it's a little skinnier than the other side. I don't know if I'm just imagining that, but I have that aligned here with the designer paper, right like that. And then we're gonna do some dimensionals on the backs of these guys. Connie Moore says, I think it was Gina that was having trouble with her glue and opened the large B. The large B. We're going to put a couple here, and then we'll pick these off and put glue at the bottom. The large end, and it worked. Oh! You know what? That's probably a good idea because there might be pressure built up on that side. That one's a loved bottle. Okay, let's grab these pieces and run a little liquid glue down here, there, there, and the little dude. All right. So our lemon curd is hanging out over here. You can see a little bit of the pink there. Got that right there. Our strawberry preserves are nestled right next to it, so you can still see a little pink. The raspberry, excuse me, woo! The raspberry, only one man dares to give me raspberry. Lone Star goes in the middle. Do you guys remember Spaceballs? Okay, then this one, I was forced to watch it a lot while I was growing up. Oh, my brother loved it. All right, so then this guy tucks right under here a little bit. Ooh, I got glue here. Look at that. Let's get you wiped off. And put you right back there. So, got that set up like that. A white overhand knot. So we're just going to grab a little bit of ribbon, make an overhand knot. You don't waste a lot of ribbon this way either. And then you're going to take your scissors and cut it like that. And then this one will cut like this. So we hardly wasted any ribbon off of that either. This is going to go right there. But I don't want it to cover up my raspberry. So, and I think that's just a hair too long. So let's short up right there. Thanks, Sue Deppis. Thanks, Kimberly. Thanks, Sherry. All right, let's grab a glue dot. We're going to put that right where the ribbon needs to go, and I'm actually going to do 2 for good measure. Thanks, Randy. All right, and then this little dude is right like that. Push it into the glue dot good. There. Okay. And then this one uses some gems as well. So we have a pinky up here and a small one. And then I think I'll use a small one right there. And then we got some strawberries. So we put a couple little baby strawberries right by the strawberry preserves. Just because we could. They're cute. Okay, make sure you press them down good when you have them exactly where you want so that they don't fall off later in life. Grab your Stella. She is not on a hot date right now. She's making her grand appearance in all the cards. Perfect. Oh, you could even do like your little ladybugs that are popped up. There. Voila. And that was number 3. A cute pink card. So we definitely utilize each of the 6 designer series papers at least once throughout the cards, which is great. That's always our goal. And now we have 3 done. So we've got Big Blue, Inky Pinky, and Coral with the black. So those are the 3 we've done. But again, you guys need to do more. I am only doing 1 of each at the moment. Okay, so now what's next on our pile? Well, before we do that, let's do the cleanup on aisle 9. So we got clean stamps going forward. Okay, so our notes of spring now are done. So did a lot of people get the notes of spring when that was? I don't know if it's still available. I guess I haven't looked lately, but on the counter. This right over here. For now, yeah, just so we got the table clean for Bonnie. Yeah, I'd put them all the way to the corner. All right, so that's done. And next card is this guy. All right, so we need to grab out what we need to make 1 card. So all of these guys, 1 of those, 1 of those. Now this one we took vellum, and we did first die cut it with a stylish shape, and then we embossed it. And it really does indent it, and it makes it look white in some spots. And you need this, this, one of those, one of these. And make sure you burnish. Ooh. So I got one here that has a little mark on it, but for the most part, that'll get covered up when I glue my inside in. All right, so keep it horizontal. Hi, Sarah Mitchell. Long time no talk. So this one we have to be careful because there's ribbon that goes underneath the sides. So if I get glue happy, I'm not going to be happy with myself because I'm going to have to get the tails, the ribbon tails tucked behind. So for now, we can just glue some of these things down though. And we want to make sure we grab the correct one of this, right? So the skinnier one is what goes on our inside. So this, come back to these, but we can glue these things down. But are you good? Should I message him?
Sure, message him, and then Annette's going up to get some paper or something, and then she's got a class, I think.
Okay.
Or whatever, and that's her. So I'm gonna head. I'll see you Friday at 8.
Okay. Thanks, Gloria. Gloria's on her way home now. All right, he's messaged.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so because I don't want to put glue on the back because it might go in the hole here, we're going to put the glue just around the border like that, not too close to the edge. And this one goes on the top. And this one goes on the bottom. It doesn't matter which one overlaps the other because we're going to have ribbon that goes over the seam. So this is where we're going to, hi Amy Langlois, we're going to make our tear and tape sandwich. Does Annette feel like doing the technique thing, binder insert thing?
Oh,
I never did them.
do you have a sprayer thing?
There's a sprayer thingy around somewhere.
Okay.
Chris Duderanke just brought one back too. It's upstairs.
Oh,
Didn't
there's
Rose
one
use
up
a water brush? Didn't she just take, oh, did she spritz it? I think
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna,
gotta
and you
spritz
need
it.
this, right? Okay, so I know you need that. There's a brush, or there's a spritzer upstairs.
Okay.
There's definitely a spritzer upstairs. Chris just brought it back. It's in a plastic
Okay.
bag.
All right.
All of them are on my table.
Okay.
There's 13 up there, and I have 13 white pieces counted out.
Okay.
So you're making your tear and tape sandwich, right? So what happens then is we need about 6 inches of ribbon. So all I'm going to do is I'm not even going to measure it. I'm just going to give myself a 1/2 inch extra on each side, like that. And then, because I know the tear and tape's back there, I like to eyeball this from the front. And I'm going to lightly, just a little bit, go over the blue bottom DSP. Okay. And then your tear and tape sandwich will hold your ribbon in place. All right. That's why we didn't want to glue these 2 mats down right away, because this needed to happen. Oh man, I still got a little glue in here. Oh, it's getting there though. Oh, that I might get one more one more mat out of that. All right, so we have our basic beige, which is perfect with this designer paper because it has beige in the background here. All right, just like that. Oh, slightly crooked, but we can still finagle that a little bit. All right, voila. So what's going on next? We have a circle. Same thing happens with this vellum. I don't know exactly at this moment where I can put tape, but I know I can put it through here. That's like the only spot I can really be safe about. So I'm going to put it right about there. And just to get it planted on the front of the card, I'm going to put that right about, so it's right about there and about 1 finger width away over there. I'd say something like that. And then my jars here. We've got those two and this one. We'll put the dimensionals on the back here. So if you guys been watching Gina, been working with her over the last couple weeks, Gina's on my team, in case you don't know it. She has been doing her YouTubes on my channel for 3 years while she had her training wheels on, right? And we are pulling her training wheels off little by little. And so if you guys love watching Gina on my YouTube channel, you might consider subscribing. Oh, that's like not centered quite right, but it's close enough. She is Glitter and Ink with Gina, and she's still doing some classes this month on my channel, and she's trying to transition to be on her channel, which is great, right? She does a phenomenal job in her. She's a very creative person. And so I just want to make sure you guys are hearing that. If you do watch her, that you get on her, subscribe to her YouTube channel. And okay, this is from Fabulous Sayings. I was going to grab that next. The other thing, I was talking to Gina this past weekend. So we hang out with Gina and Glenn and her family, with my family. We do game night. She gets really great her family gets along great with my brother and his family. And we have one big happy family. We have game night once a month these days. And we were all done with game night. And we're not allowed to talk about stamping while we're at game night. The kids say it. They say no talking about stamping, because apparently we must talk about stamping too much between me, Amanda, and Gina. So we get yelled at. And so we didn't talk about stamping at all until everybody left, except for it was Gina and Glenn. And Gina said, hey, Chris, she's like, I'm at 17,000 points for the incentive trip. She's like, is that close? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know you were that close. So you guys, we've been working with Kelly and helping her get closer to the incentive trip. Kelly's over halfway there. Gina's just under halfway there. So now that I know that, I want you guys all to hear it too, in case you want to take a class with Gina. It always, any bit that you do, like taking classes with the gals on my team, it helps them, and it helps them reach their goals. So I want you guys to be knowing too. And I said that to Gina. I'm like, well, now that I know that's where you're working, like, I had no idea she was working so hard. I mean, I knew she was working hard, but I didn't know that was like her goal. Like, she had that vision in her head, and she does. So I said, well, now that I know that, like, that's definitely what you're getting. Because last year she wasn't quite close, and now with how close she's getting, it's like, okay, well, you're close. Let's make sure we keep working and not lose sight of your goals. So I've got Kelly and Gina that are working. They're working hard for a living, working hard for that incentive trip. So I just thought I'd put that out there, and making sure everybody too. Gina made a fabulous scrapbooking book. So I want to make sure I save room for a little dot here. Gina made a fabulous, and again, I'm stamping it a little bit lower, right? My jars are resting on the top, so I just want to call that out. So it's down here a little bit. It was National Scrapbooking Day, I guess, this past weekend. You guys know Gina's my scrapbooking queen. And Gina made this amazing book thing. And I just got to share it with you. I told her she has to do it as an in-person class. She did the live on her channel yesterday, and I want to take the class because I want to make it. So I just got to share this with you in case you didn't see this. Now, I know she's little hiccups with her video, so give her a little slack, because her content is amazing. Right here, she did her first live on YouTube today. It's a start, and you have lots to work on, but she's working on it. But you guys, if you watch this video, you will see this book right here, the Relaxing Water Slide Mini Album. I am working with her to get a date for my in-person peeps, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to make that thing. It is the most amazing thing. It opens this way, it opens this way, and then it goes this way, and then it goes that way, and then it's got pockets, and it's so cool. So I am excited. Can you tell? Doesn't take much. I love, like her creativity is top notch. So we've got To a Fabulous Friend. Then we need Happy Birthday. Now that's not Melon Mambo. It's actually Strawberry Slush. And I'm starting to wonder, yeah, the other one was probably supposed to be Strawberry Slush. But I don't think that anybody's going to notice that that's Melon Mambo and not Strawberry Slush. So they're kind of close in the same family. Mimi said the Silly Old Bear stamp a stack for purchase. It is. So Mimi, you'll be happy to know that I did your registration between 1 and 2 o'clock. I got yours knocked out. And I did see that you didn't want to do the Silly Old Bear Stamp-a-Stack, but now I see you're asking about the PDF. Yes, Kelly's writing the Stamp-a-Stack PDF, and it's going to be like exactly like my PDFs are. She's taking my templates and working with them, and it will be available, but it will not be available until later in the month. She has her Memories and More class on Thursday, and she hasn't written the Memories and More PDF, and that's coming first. And then she'll have to write the altered and edited Paper Pumpkin, and then I would say by the 27th of May, she'll have the Pooh one ready. So, and I know Lori Baxter, I believe you had ordered this tutorial for this class. Now that I have it ready as of today, I will be able to email that to you. I had it on my board to send this to you. I think you were the only one that pre-registered to buy the tutorial. Hi, Cindy Bassett. Hi, Marianne. Better late than never. You know it, girlfriend. So let's flip this over. I found a little baby spot right there. So I'm just going to flip it over and cross my fingers and my toes. Oh, and then it came through to the other side. It must be in the paper. So we're going to put this so this happy birthday is really hard to put on the outside of a card or on a label. So it makes perfectly good sense to put it on the inside like that. All right, so that's it for Stamp-a-rooing here. And so, yeah, so Mimi, I think we're set, except for if you want the PDF. So I am, for anybody that does, so Kelly and I, so she's, okay, we're working with Kelly to get her to Costa Rica. She's starting to host classes with me. And we design the cards together. And I show her all my tips and tricks for designing to make use of paper efficiently and ribbon efficiently and gems efficiently, right? All the little tips and tricks. And what happens then is after we're designing, we're including her classes in my lineup because they roll right through everything that we do. And you guys, she's got 76 people signed up for the Winnie the Pooh class. Oh, I almost got glue everywhere. So her registrations go through me, and then I help log them, track them, and then we include them in our shipping. And she overcommitted this month. She's got 3 classes between everything. But hey, she was like gung-ho and excited about it. She still is, right? But she's realizing how much work it is. And so can you imagine last month in April, we had 12, not with her, but like I think I had 12 kitted things that we offered here. And it's a lot of work, you guys. You know that. Anybody who cuts paper for yourself even, it's work to cut paper, and it's die cutting and embossing. I have the best helpers in the world. That's what keeps me going. All right, so I've got my inside here. Pretty good. Like that. That looks good. You guys, the light's starting to come in, so you might see some weird shadowy things. All right, so that's good. We're going to glue this right away. And, oh, you know what, though? We're going to try to use just one more mat, right? Oh, you guys. Oh, I think that's all. Oh my goodness. Where did that come from? That's enough to glue a mat down, I'll tell you, hey. All right, let's grab that, put that in here. Like so. Okay, now that we got that so far, let's figure out the front part here. We need to put this guy about here, and all of that is going to be popped up. I have the perfect dimensional for that. They are these little stripperoos here.
I don't know what this picture is.
Okay, so it's in a plastic bag on the counter, you know, like where the refrigerator is upstairs, right? So Chris brought back
all of her DSP cut out and everything.
It's like all the treat boxes are up on the ledge, maybe.
I'll look
like on the wooden brown shelf, maybe.
Okay.
So we're gonna put this guy like that. Oh, you need a drink. Yes, you should get a drink. I should take a drink. It's time to have some water in the body. Oh, it tastes so good. So we're gonna do so you guys, these come in paper pumpkin kits. They come in kits in general, and they come in handy for times like this. Otherwise, you can use the sides of your dimensionals too. You really want the whole class, but over budget on Stampin' Up. So I'm thinking about it. I'll text you tomorrow. Here's the deal that we're making for people that if you, okay, we can't deny that we had way too much stuff that we put in the lineup for May and for April. And with a new catalog coming out, it is really difficult to like hold in the reins. So we've had a few people that said, I really want it, but can I get it in June? And the answer is always going to be yes. So Mimi, we'd rather have you have us, and anybody that wants it but that just can't do it in in May, let us know. We'll put your name on the list and we'll hold it to the side and we'll keep it safe and sound until the June shipping date, which I think I was just talking with somebody today. The June shipping is set for around the 12th. So definitely if that is if it's like a no, I can't do it because it's in May, then ask us and we'll say it's okay, we'll hold it for June. I'd rather you get on the list and get it if you want it and have it in June than to not have it and wish you had it when June rolls around. Okay, so, and Kelly will not say no to that either, because we do know that she's working her way to Costa Rica off of Winnie the Pooh. So you're going to need to grab a few more inches of ribbon here like that. And it's probably more than what you need, but we're going to stage this underneath here. So right now it's easy to slip this underneath. And we're going to have this hanging out over on the side there for now. And then this is going to have part of the vellum exposed. And I'd say something like that. Then these guys have the backs taken off. And go like that. And we'll put a little bit of glue. Ooh, yes, around the bottom here. Around the bottom. And around the bottom. I think that it may need one though right in the middle there, and the same with this one, just to give it some support. So that one is off to the right. It covers up the vellum. This one is not covering up the vellum all the way on the side, so you see a little bit of it. And this one tucks in the middle. It's a little baby, like that. All right. It's very good. I can live with this. So we're moving it a hair though. Then I can live with it. I don't want to cover up the word strawberry, so I wanted to see that there. All right, now that you've got this staged and you can get an eye for what's happening, this you're just going to make an overhand knot. Like so. There's a certain way you twist it on there and your tails should do what they want, and if they don't, you can always use a little bit of glue dots to help it, but we're going to cut that one like that and maybe this one like that. Okay, so we have a little faux bow on the side, and then for this we'll have a big blue right there, the little blue goes here, and then we'll use a baby pink there, a strawberry right in the middle there, and then one more strawberry on the side. Super cutesy patootsy. Stella Ella it up. Connie says, you were over budget also. Every time I look at the new catalog, you're afraid I won't have enough months to order things before the catalog retires. Yeah. So that's the hard thing about the catalog, is that it's May through August now, but not everything is going to retire. Some of it will get carried over to the online exclusives world of things. And that would be this one. Okay, so turned out pretty good. Super cute. We got our jars, so these cards are perfect for what's happening now, is we're turning it into spring, and then that we'll have summer. All the gardens will start producing, and we'll have our strawberry preserves and blueberries my mom makes. We call it blueberry, rhubarb, and strawberry. I think she makes a blueberry, rhubarb, strawberry brews or something we call it for short. It's a really awesome, amazing jam. My mom makes the best of everything. All right. So that would be that card. And now on to our last one. And again, you guys, this is just the beginning. You guys have a whole card working marathon in front of you yet. So for this, oh, that's maybe where my yellow dude is. All right, so let's see that. Oh, but maybe I do need it in this one. What's on the back side here? It is for the inside. Okay. So let's grab one of those, one of these, one of those, one of those. Yeah, I can't really. Tyler loves rhubarb too. He has been known to eat like, I don't know, what is that, a 14-inch pie in one sitting. All right, and then he has bellyache. But it's all worth it, he says. All right, so we're just grabbing out one of everything for this one, like we've been doing the whole time. Now for you guys at home again, if you want to do all of them at the same time, you might as well go through the process of stamping everything all at once. All right, so we're not going to get to use these tails, but I would save these. I actually wouldn't throw these away because they could be utilized behind a banner by just adhering these two little tails behind something, right? So they're long enough to do something. Waste not, want not. All right, so this guy's going to get glued over that. Then we have our label. This is a diamond, so that's going to go like that. Another label inside. And then this. Okay. So let's glue. I always like to get some pieces. I don't know. It depends on my mood, but I feel like chicken tonight. Now, I feel like gluing these and making two less random pieces floating around, as well as this one. Let's get you a little glue. All right. So make sure you glue that the right way. Okay, so the strawberry's upside down. Strawberry's not upside down. Strawberry's upside down. But our peach, like these guys seem that it needs the cherries. I'm looking at the cherries. Glue it however you think it works best. And then this one can go on the inside. And then we'll line these up so they're centered. Like so. Okay. This gets popped up with dimensionals. And like there's a lot of gap right there. So let's take care of that. And this will go right onto the card front. So after I realized that Gina was about halfway to earning the incentive trip, I looked at somebody else on my team. And I noticed that Tracy Storage is right behind Gina. And I was like, wow, so exciting. I just need to call her and tell her that she's that far, because she might not even realize that she's that, like, not quite half, but, you know, almost half. You know, when you're that far and you've got 5 months to do yet, there's a possibility you can make it happen. All right, I'm going to use I have this grid underneath here, and I'm going to put my square right there. Okay, and I'll use that as a template to pick this up, and I can look for the lines in the middle. So here's a line there. I'm going for the middles. That will help me get this. So I've got a line there, line there, line there. And if I keep my square inside its boundaries and line these up with the middle, it'll help me get this thing glued exactly where it needs to get glued. Then what I've got are dimensionals on the right side, and it's glued flat on the left. Oh, let's try this glue one more time. I'm so almost done with it. This is getting to be the end of gluing. Okay. Of course, there's like, just when you think it's done, there's just a little bit left. So this is flat and then popped up. And it's kind of centered, but this little peaky hits the edge of the designer paper. just like that. Okay. Stamping. The hello, hello, hello comes from the Fabulous of Sayings. That is the product. It was a I don't know if it still is, you guys. I don't remember if it's still out there or not. I'd have to have somebody tell me. But the hello comes from that. So we'll stamp that. I think that it might be gone. But generally people have lots of words and sentiments at home that they can work with. And so let's, oh my gosh, you guys, I just have the hardest time figuring out how to put these stamps back where they need to go. And having enough room for everything. And I know I got that off of here. And he's going to sneak in there. And that's where he's going to go. Well, maybe that could go there. And then that can go there. Okay, that works. So hello is in the Misties of Moonlights. And if you can see where the O is, that's where I'm going to look for stamping. And I'm going to leave the right side where it is, which is blank, because the orange is going to go on there. And then our inside, you're on my mind. Of course you are. Okay, that comes from here too. So let's get that stamped on our white piece here. And it is a vertical card. Thanks, Mimi. I'm glad you liked the cards. It feels so long ago that we designed these cards. And there's a cat fur. And it's definitely under. Okay, I got it out. You guys, you haven't even seen any of the kittens. They've all been snoozing. It's like we put them to work today. And they're out napping now. But we didn't make them work at all. I think that's it for our inking adventures. Now, the one thing we didn't talk about are your envelopes. So you have envelope flaps and you have all this pretty designer series paper. And what will you do with them? Will you decorate your envelope flaps? Because if you do, you could match them like this really nicely. And I'll show you the card with them in a moment here. But you guys listen to it. I just threw it away. We said goodbye. Oh, I don't know if we all said goodbye, but I said sayonara in my head. I always think that I can get just a little bit more glue out of there. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So I don't want that. I want to do the blue like this. I'm pretty certain. Yep. Okay. And then these little dudes are going on the inside. All right. So who made cards with me and followed along and did your cutting and prepping and all the good things? Did anybody also make cards with me? Okay, so that goes like that. How far did you get? This one's going to go here. And our little honeybee pot can go like that. So the insides are generally the same, where we took 2 little jars and we put one in front. And then we added that little strip of designer paper. All right, so that looks nice. And this. And this. So this gets popped up. And the right side, oh, did I? Yeah, I did. We're going to put the right side with one. Okay, let's pop this down. I can say this now because we're almost done with class, but aren't you glad that we didn't have buffering today like we had last night? Holy crap. There was something going on in the weather, it would be my guess, because when the live was done, so we had a mystery card last night, and when I was done with it, I went inside and I emptied the dishwasher, filled the dishwasher. I cleaned out the cat litter, and I took the garbages out, and I started to prep dinner, and then Tyler got back, and we continued to cook dinner, and I came out here 7 or 8 times. So here, we need some glue on the side to check, because it kept running. I couldn't end the video streaming because it was an hour and 10 minutes delayed. So it showed like I was live for 2 hours and 20 minutes, but as soon as I end the video, it was an hour and 20. So it buffered for a total of an hour and 10 or 15 minutes. So Tyler came out here with me, because I'm like, Tyler, we were talking to my parents, and I said, bring the phone out. We're going to finish the conversation out here while this ends. And he said that there was something going on with the internet around the whole country. And so I'm like, okay, well, that would make sense why I buffered it. It's like there was just, internet was just not doing good. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this little honey pot forward, because I don't necessarily want the yellow on the outside. I'm going to save the honey part. Remember from the very first card, I think we were missing one on the inside. And then what I'm going to do is, I don't want two of those that are the same size, though. Where's my paper? I want to cut a reddish pink one for that. So, yeah, we had so much buffering last night, it wasn't even funny. But we made it through it, and I always tell you guys, if it buffers that much, it's not worth it to stay watching. Just wait for it to be done, and then it will... So I'm just looking for little scraps. And then when you watch it on the replay, it's just fine. Fine. It's just fine. Oh, that's exactly what I want. Yay. Cool beans. I want this dude right here. He is going to be very easy to cut out. And then I get the blue with the pinky inky. What are the odds that the one I actually wanted was right here and in a whole size? Because all the rest of these are not going to work for me. Okay, so now I can put this tall one here and that guy like that. Okay, so how are we going to do this though? This is flat here, right? So we can glue this one flat, I think. So let's put a little glue back here. Oh, let's go a little bit more. Okay, so that is going to go right on here like that. Debbie Gass, I also learned to watch her first, then do the cards. Yes, you guys, if you watch me first, versus trying to cut, I always had so much, when people first started watching me, like, what, 6 years ago, they'd always say to me after, well, you go too fast, I can't keep up with you. It's like, well, if you want me to go slow, all these lives are going to be like 5 hours long if you want me to go super slow. And I was like, I don't have 5 hours to hang out. It's like with a video, the great thing about it is you can pause it, stop it, start it, do whatever you want. And then if you watch in the beginning, you get a feel for how to make cards, and people get a lot more efficient in keeping up too. So I always tell people, don't ever try to keep up with me. Just work at your own pace. And if you watch the video, a lot of people tell me they work on other things, not even these cards. They watch it and, well, they work on other things, and then they know how to make the cards for later. All right, did you see I put a couple dimensionals on the left, and then I had it glued right? That's like one of my biggest tips too, is you don't have to use the same type of adhesive on the whole thing. You can split it up like flat glue, popped up glue. Okay, so we don't need that dude, and we need some gems. So let's see what we got here. Okay, the cutesy patootsy little strawberry here. So cute. Then you'll have an inky pinky. We'll do a little one. And how about a little blue dude right there? We forgot a bow. So we are going to grab our bow maker, because I do not make bows. I am not graduated to making bows on my own. I always utilize the bow maker. And normally my nails are not that tough to get out. There it is. One of my oldest bow makers. Okay, so I have these for purchase, you guys. I have my old babysitter. I used to babysit his kids. He makes these for me, and they're $10 plus shipping if you need it shipped, which is usually not much unless it's by itself. But this is definitely loved. You can see my nails, how much they go in. They used to be like that, but the more you make bows with it, the more they get wiggly with it. So we're going to take and cross these over like this, up and over underneath, and now we make an overhand knot, and it makes the most perfect of bows like that. And then I make sure that's in the center. As I'm tugging down into the left and to the right. And then what I'll do is I'll cut that off, put my nails back where they belong, and so we talked about that. There's only 2 yards of ribbon on here. Now, it doesn't look like I used a lot, but remember, I only made 5 cards. By the time you make 15 cards, you're going to go through more ribbon. This one, we've put this little bow right underneath here like that. So excessive amounts of glue dots is what I would use. Penny Powell, I'm ripping this off for you. All right, so we're going to put glue dot, glue dot, glue dot. Okay, so we got 3 glue dots right in a row. So you want to make sure that you put them right where your bow needs to go, right? So push that down into that. Fluff up your bunny tails and pull your tails down. I know you're going to put it in an envelope. It's going to get squished. That's okay. So then we have one more of this. Can go down between the tails. And like that. All right. So our gems are used. So if you look at the gems, I can't remember how many were on here, but by the time, again, you're making 15 cards, your gems are going to get scooped up a lot. You're going to cut your tails. Now, I think he's okay going like that, but if you want him to go over a little further, that's where you could put one more glue dot right under a spot, and it would help it to stay in place. What do I mean by that? Take a glue dot, and let's say you want it over there more. Take and put that glue dot right there, and then just drop your tail into it, and no one will ever know that you put a glue dot back there. And then now we're going to trim you. Now, these tails are a little bit longer than those, but that's okay. It seemed like they worked really good. And if you, let's do one more little haircut. Ribbon scissors is going to be perfect to do what I just did. If you have a dull scissors, it's not going to cut like that. And I'm going to do one more glue dot for good measure, and we're going to lift you up and help there. See? Then it makes it look exactly where I want it. So, so let's pull in all the cards that we made. And you can tell me which one you like the best. Nancy says, I didn't put that on your order. What? Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, Nancy. Oh, you're going to have to be like, okay, so I just saw your comment here. I have no idea when you commented that, but I was talking about you and your order like a long time, like way in the beginning of class. And all I know is you had put porch pickup for what you registered for. So I'm not certain if you're asking about what I'm trying to, like what I figured out because you didn't put something, but you put porch pickup. And when I saw porch pickup and you live in Canada, I'm like, oh man, what is she doing? It made me like, not red flag, but just like try to figure out the detective part of things. All right, so I'm going to just put these guys away. All right, this guy goes in here. And doing a little cleanup here. Got this guy. How is Annette? Did you find it? Was it up there? Right where?
Well, it did blend in.
It did blend, but it was right there. Here, you want to take this too? Thank you very much. That can go away. I don't know what I did with my cover because I can't see it. Maybe I never had it. But, all right, let's bring in all the cards so you guys can tell me what you got. So I'll show you the envelope flip. So I had these done for my sample cards, right? So this one, oh man, goes with this one. And then this one goes with that one. Inky Pinky goes with that one. Blue 42 over here goes with that one. And Ladybugs goes with that one. So, the bow maker. Oh, you didn't put the bow maker on your order. Ha ha. Do you want a bow maker, Nancy? Just send me an email. Tell me you want a bow maker, and I will add it on the back end. I will insert, I don't think I have, I'm not throwing the tweezers away, don't think I am, but I thought I was looking for my cover of my marker, or my thing here. So Nancy, send me a quick note telling me you would like a bow maker, and we can add it to your list. Kimberly says she likes them all. Good. That's a very good answer. I like it. And while you guys tell me, I'm going to further do my cleanup on aisle 9 here. And this guy. Used very few ink colors. Everything kind of matched with the blues and the pinks. Our Misty Moonlight with our pink was really good. And strawberry slush got pulled in, or you could use melon mambo. We said that that works okay too. And brought in our coral. That worked really good. And our white black pad. Okay. Blocks are going back. Look at us getting stuff cleaned up. So, let's see if we can fit you there and you there. I do like these this fabulous sayings. It was a good one. Okay. And now I have a little homework here, or one of my helpers has a little homework, helping me put the rest of my, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cards together. Yep, that's how that goes. So, yeah, very good. I was just looking, could have sworn I had the cover to that Take Your Pick tool, and then I took it off. And maybe I'm just making that up in my head. So, all right. Susan says she likes them all. Sue Esworthy likes the bottom right. Okay. So, when you see these cards, think of nice layouts. Like, very interchangeable. The layout, like the background is interchangeable, and then just changing up the front with different things. Like, let's say you don't have these jars or the honey, you could put something else there in lieu of it. But I didn't know how I personally felt about these strawberries when I first saw them. I have to say that. I do admit that. I was uncertain. And then when I saw them on the spoon here, and I saw them sprinkled in around the edges of things, that's when I started to fall in love with them. So, this guy too, that is a little flippy to me. So I'm going to grab one more glue dot, and we're going to put that right underneath. So they used to call me the glue dot queen, because I would put there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 glue dots under that bow just to make that bow do what I want it to do. And that's okay. So there was one card here though, this one, that is missing there. I just had a thought. If you don't put these things down right away, they will find a cat and stick to the cat and walk away with the cat. All right, so now our little honey pot is glued here. Marilyn says she likes the top right. Okay, good. And Mimi likes the inky pinky. Oh, good deal. So this heart paper, very interchangeable if you want to use it for Valentine's-esque cards, right? So the hearts on it are really pretty. Good. Lindsay says she loves them all, but her favorite is the top row far right. And you learned lots. Okay, well, Lindsay, I had you in mind while I went more in depth on things. I think if you ask the people that normally watch me, I might have said things more than I normally do. So I was trying to really help you, because from what Bonnie and Annette, Lindsay is watching. Hey, oh, Lindsay, there's Annette. Yay, there's Annette. She says hi. I heard that she helped you in class when you were here. Yay. So I heard that you were just starting out, and so I was keeping that in the back of my head while I was talking through a lot and trying to explain things as thoroughly as possible so that it helps you right off the bat. So the next time you come to an in-person class, you'll have a little bit more background knowledge on how to put things together. So, and Marilyn Durbin says she likes the spoon. Oh yeah, so you guys are really liking the spoon one here too. So nobody said the coral one though, so that's interesting. And it's different, but it's like we needed to use the ladybug paper. So, all right. Well, you guys, we did it. Oh, what is it? It's 5 o'clock. All right, very good. So Bonnie and Shelly are having class here tonight. They have their oldies but goodies 3D project class, I believe. And so they'll be coming in here soon. I'm not going to do my showcase of past classes that I have here tonight. My focus is going to be knocking out a few more registrations so that I think there's 45 left. If I had to look, there's 45. If I could get through about 20 or 25 tonight, I'm going to try to do the other 20 or 25 tomorrow, so that most of the ones that are left are the newer ones, or people that aren't necessarily getting things shipped on Friday. They might be getting shipped after the showcase, after the Stampin' Fun in the Sun. So just a note, I still have lots of space for the Stampin' Fun in the Sun. I just looked at the numbers. We have 90 signed up, which is pretty spot on and phenomenal. Absolutely awesome. When I did this event in June, the last 2 years, we had 144 people. So I don't know if it's the time of the year that makes a difference, but we were planning for 120. So that means we have 30 spots left. And we have a pretty full house on Thursday. But at this moment, I only have 3 people signed up for in-person on Friday. And I believe I have 12 for Saturday and 8 to 10 for Sunday. So I might move the 3 people from Friday to Saturday or Sunday so that my mom has a day off of cooking and my dad has a day off of helping. And they're starting to plant the fields. And so I'm sure that my dad would really appreciate that little lighter load. And if that's the case, then we'd move them into either Saturday or Sunday. But there's still a lot of space on the weekend in which there's not normally a lot. But you could also get the event to go. And it's 4 mini classes in one. And that's what you girls, you probably heard the girls shuffling lots of plastic and cellophane. I should show you. So I'm just going to take a moment. I'm going to unplug this. In case I lose you guys, it's okay. We're pretty much at the end. But hang tight with me as I pull this off of here. You get that shot. Okay. Hang tight. I'm going to flip this around. You guys, I still have my big B back there. All right. Let's flip that. Okay. So this is what we've been working hard at. So each class is going to be in a cellophane bag. So like this one right here, that packet right here is what goes with that sampler frame. And then it has 3 card kits, which I don't know where the card kits, but there's 3 bonus cards that go with it. So that's one. And then here is a packet that has the gift cards or the money cards. Then we were working on putting all of these guys in cellophane. This is the in color class. And then those are these cards back here, right? So, and then there are the money cards back there, right? And then there's an explosion box, which we have all the pieces that we're working on getting them put in here. That explosion box is, hang tight, don't get dizzy, guys. So we're going to walk all the way over here. Look at my piles of chaos. Organized chaos, that is. The explosion box is right here. So this is another one of the projects that when you open the box up, it goes like that. And then the cover pops off. And this is actually what I intended that paperweight to go in here, right? Because that paperweight is the perfect size. But it's not necessarily like you guys would be, I couldn't have you make your own gift to put your pillow gift in. So we're going to figure out something to put the little paperweight in. But that's one of the projects there. So look at, we've been kidding like crazy. The tables are full. That's ink, paper, scissors, the sweet bundle class, the monthly class. Let's Just Stamp is here. And Annette's got the in color. That's what she's working on over there. She's got the in color one. So let's go back like this so you guys can see me. So we'll work our way back. So there you guys got a little tour of what we've been working on. Kelly, again, is prepping the Pooh stuff, like the Pooh class, and she's prepping the paper pumpkin, the April paper pumpkin altered and edited. And then she's also prepping the celebration expressions. So for the paper pumpkin, I had, I believe, maybe 11 of them, and she had 7, and they're all gone. But thankfully, there's the refill kit is still available, and I've had about 4 or 5 people take the refill kit for part of the class. It brings the cost down a little bit, but you don't get the stamps or the ink spot, but that's okay because we generally only used the birds and we used the words, the birds and the words. And so the refill kit with shipping and taxes only $18, where the pumpkin's $27. So you save a little bit, and you could use it if you had stamps or inks at home. You could. So I have 4 left of the refill kit that I can put in with somebody that wants to get option. I think it would be option 2 or option 4. So we haven't closed any of the classes, I don't think, at the moment. We haven't sold out of any of them, right? Okay, well, it is only May 5th, so you're safe yet if you get your registration. I don't think we're close to selling out on anyone. Even the technique class, we still have 4 left, or maybe 3 left. So at this moment, if anybody still needs to get their registrations in, you still have to get them in. And I think that there's even 10 people that pre-registered for things in April that haven't done their May registrations. And so I want to get in touch with them after I get through the official registrations to see if they are still on board for getting things. So Marilyn said, I have to have the explosion box, and we use the velvet meadow paper for it, and it's so pretty. And we were talking about the peaceful pine two-tone. We used that heavy on that project. We used it on the sampler project. And so every one of my stamping buddies that's close to me on my team, they all ordered 2 packs, and then I can replace it with something else now that the catalog launched. But I am so blessed that I was able to have that, because we have everything staged and prepped and ready to go, and then that paper went out of stock. If I would, that wouldn't have worked. So I'm very blessed that everybody was able to help me out close by here. So, and the sampler. Yes, the sampler is pretty cool. So, all right. Lindsay says, much appreciated. Well, you're very welcome. All right. Nancy Mole says, is it good to call? Give me 5 minutes, okay? I have to run to the bathroom, and I don't want to be in the bathroom while you're calling me. So give me maybe 10 minutes, okay, Nancy? And then that will be safe. I'll take my phone off of like the private mode or like the pager mode, so I will hear it ringing. Okay, so I'll hear it ringing, but just give me 10 minutes, okay? All right. You guys, I think that's it. I'm going to sign off. So tomorrow is Wednesday, the 6th, and then the 7th is Kelly will be live on Thursday at 10 a.m. for the Memories and More class, right? Celebration, Expressions, Memories, More. And then I'll be live at 6 p.m. for the May monthly class, okay? So we've got, and then I'll be live with you again on Friday with the In Color Catalog launch class. So we've got 3 more lives coming up for you this week. So hang tight, and I'm so happy that we had no buffering. It must be because it was the afternoon. So, all right, you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you guys. We'll see you again on Thursday. Bye.